Hello and welcome to Vanity Hair, the YouTube channel where a random bloke talks about his hair transplant that he got in Istanbul. So, as you can tell from the title below, today marks month number 5. And for those of you joining me on my journey now, I've been to Istanbul back in September to get 4,000 grafts transplanted from the back and sides of my head onto the top. So I'm going to be doing a little update video as to how the process is going at the moment. I'll have a little slideshow put together. I'll zoom in onto the top of my scalp as well as I usually do with some quirky music. And hopefully I can answer any questions you might have about what hair is supposed to look like 5 months after the process. So as I've mentioned 1,000 times before, it takes about a year for all the results to come through. So I'm on about 40% of my hair growth at the moment, and I've emailed the aftercare team at the clinic as well. And despite the harsh realities of life because of COVID, they've actually responded to me quite promptly. So as you can see, these are the pictures that I've sent through. You can see the top of my head is still quite thin, so I was a little bit worried about me not making enough progress. But they got back to me and they reassured me that 40% at this point and at this stage is absolutely normal, but don't take my words for it. There's 1,000 articles out there on Google that I can find you that will tell you the same. Obviously, you want it to be as thick and as dense as possible, as early on as possible, but the reality of the game is that you're gonna have to be patient, which is something that I'm lacking a lot. So I'm putting a bit of product into it. I started gelling it now to make it seem thicker. Obviously in this room it's a lot darker as well, so you can't really see the scalp shining through as much as I did on the pictures that I've sent through, which obviously I'm not wearing any product on. But from the front I am really happy with it. I'm actually able to style it now. I've got a bit of quiff going on, and even from the top, they're saying I'm on 40% at the moment. If there's another 60% that is going to grow through, I'm really, really excited to see how thick it's actually going to turn out to be. But anyway, let's talk more slideshows. I'm going to do a little before and after for you guys. Then I'll do, as promised, the close-up of my head. And then I've got another surprise for you in store. Okay, so that's the close-up of my head. As mentioned earlier, here's a little surprise for you. You've all been asking, well, I say you've all been asking, like 2-3 of you were asking about Mike, my mate who I did my hair transplant with. You can check him out in the first couple of videos. And relevant question, he did the transplant at the same time as I did, so I'm gonna have a little bit of a catch-up with him on Zoom. Excuse the camera, it's not going to be very good quality again, but then none of my videos are, and he'll tell you about how his process is going as well.
Okay.
Right. Welcome everyone. You'll not believe how much effort it was to set this meeting up, but here we are. I promise you all a bit of a surprise, and here he is, Michael Adams. You remember him from the first video. Obviously, me and him went to the same clinic, got the hair transplant on the very same day. So he's going through exactly what I am, 4,000 grafts. Obviously, he didn't have his entire head done. He just had his crown and his, what do you call it, hairline. But yeah, Mike, talk us through what happened. How you doing? How's the hair looking?
Yeah, great, thanks. I'm really happy with the progress so far. Obviously, you can see it's looking, if I don't say so myself, pretty damn good, to be honest. When I'm under more severe lighting, you can still kind of see it. You can still sort of see through it, so the density's not all there, but when I haven't got a light straight going on it, and just generally speaking, I think it looks pretty much as good as I was hoping for, that's for sure. Did you want like a close-up of it, or?
Oh yeah, if you don't mind just pushing your hair back a little bit, let's just see how dense it actually is compared to, because obviously the rest of your head is quite thick.
Yeah, so
Just in comparison
that's
to
the thing. I
that.
do have thick hair, but the hair still receded. A lot of it still fell out anyway. But so just pull it back. And then you may have to direct me for the top bit. That was all thinning as well. I think you've got some of my photos. I don't know if you're going to put them on this video or whatever.
Yeah,
but
yeah. Well,
the crown, tell me if it's on point. But
yeah,
can you see that?
Yeah.
I do have a double crown, so I'm not sure if it's like the actual crown or whether it's still a bit thin there or whatnot. But yeah, for 5.5 months in, I'm extremely happy with it, to be honest. Yeah, it's been great.
Yeah, all right. So big 6-month knock. Next couple of weeks, everyone's saying obviously that's when it starts to look really good. But if it were to stay the way it is at the moment, would you be happy, or you still lacking a bit?
No, I would be even if it just stayed like this now, it's still a lot better than it was. I'm extremely happy with it, to be honest. And just going to say to anyone, definitely just get it done. I know there's always this sort of thing like, oh, should I just embrace it and shave it off or whatever? But why would you not just delay having hair for a bit longer if you can? Like, even if, I mean, it should be permanent now, obviously. But if for whatever reason it did need shaving in like another 10 or 15 years or whatever, that's fine. But I would try and live it out a bit longer, keep the hair a bit longer, get the transplant if you can, because let's be honest, it does look a lot better than that with hair for 99% of people.
Looks sick. Looks sick. Right. Oh, wrap it up at that. You know, it took us about 25 minutes to set up the call, and then in just 3 minutes, Mike has already sold us the hair transplant. But I mean, yeah, that's all there is to say to it, really. Just before we let you go, then I don't know. Would you say top 3 things you didn't know, like that you wish you would have known before, that you want to say to anyone that's about to get it done?
Oh man, you didn't prepare me with these types of questions.
Yeah, that's right.
Things I wish I'd known. To be honest, not really, but that's a good thing. So you don't really have to overthink it too much. Just go and do it. To be honest,
Just gotta be patient. That's it. I think is the number one.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna. I mean, I didn't have this bit done, but Christoph did. Mine was just on the actual line. So for the first few months, I just had to carry on. It was sort of 50-50 whether to try and grow this bit over the transplanted bit to try and cover it, but that didn't really work. So for the first few months, you're going to be completely skinhead. If you only need this bit doing, you've got to keep shaving that bit, in my opinion, to look at least half decent. But after that, once it starts growing, it just gets exciting and it's 100% worth it. But yeah, it's been pretty plain sailing, to be honest.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, after the first month, once all the scabs are gone, once all the redness has started to heal, it's just the waiting game, really. And that's what everyone's got to realize, that it is a long process. You know, 5 months is a long time in any other given scenario. But for this, it's still like another 7 months away from being completed. You know, you snap your ankle, what is it, like 6 weeks for it to heal and before you start walking again? But this is like a long, you know, a year long, maybe even 18 months you have to wait before it's all done. But well, glad to hear you're doing good as well.
And the final thing as well, and I'm sure most people do, but keep taking lots of photos, because there's been times where you're thinking, oh, I'm not sure if it's progressing, and then you just flip back to like 2 weeks ago or something, and you do see the progress, and then that encourages you again. So just keep taking lots of photos once it does start growing.
Yeah, words of advice to listen to. All right, Mike, well, have a good evening. Thanks for your input there, and I wish you a speedy recovery.
Cool, you too.
All right, okay, so with the risk of sounding boring, I'm going to wrap things up there. 5 months in, hell of a lot of growth already, but still quite a long way to go. And I suppose that is a message me and Mike were trying to portray here. The name of the game is patience. You know, a lot of you will be thinking, oh yeah, 5 months after your hair transplant, you're going to be seeing good results. You will, but it's actually not even halfway there at the moment. So For all of those that are interested in getting a transplant, just bear that in mind. 5 months, you're not there yet. You're going to need to wait a lot longer. And for all of you that have had it already and are feeling a bit uncertain about the way it's going for you, fear not. You know, you're not alone. Again, you can see my scalp still. Yes, the hairline I'm very, very pleased with. The rest, there's still some recovery there left to do, and that's the funniest thing about the hair transplant. You know, any other injury you'd hope to recover from within 5 months. I mean, footballers go down in the back of the field. Actually, that's a terrible example because they can go out for the whole season. But I'm not a medical expert, so I can't think of anything right now to say. But 5 months seems to be like a long time to recover from anything. A year just for a bit of hair that's taken from here to there. It doesn't seem to make sense, but that is what it is. So thanks for staying with me. Thanks for checking out the video. If you've got any questions, obviously leave it in the comments. Like and subscribe if you really enjoy it. And get ready for month 6, which is going to be in a few weeks. Hopefully, even more progress by then. Cheers.